Hi again, here's the Monday health tip. It's going to be a pretty quick one this week. This is just it's just a technique that I kind of came up with my kid. And sometimes if you have a baby that's just kind of crying, a little inconsolable, and might call it colic or whatever it is, just a lot of crying, and you're kind of having a difficulty calming the baby down. One thing I found is that if you kind of try to reflect nature, sometimes you can have an important impact. So for the first few months of life, most of the time the baby's actually think of the baby kind of floating around in the amniotic fluid inside mom, sort of kind of doing this kind of stuff. And then maybe in the last few months the baby will be turned over. So one thing I found, it works with the first month or two after the baby's born, but just kind of trying to simulate that sort of floaty kind of movement can sometimes calm a crying baby. So one thing I found is I would just take the baby like this, and all I just started doing if the baby was crying, I would just start to kind of rock them just like this. Okay, and just kind of take that sort of movement and kind of getting them going forward and backward, kind of almost like they're floating in the amniotic fluid sort of thing. Just bending my knees and just sometimes just doing that movement would actually help to calm the crying baby. It was really kind of an interesting thing. But then after a few months, that kind of started to wear off, and it didn't work anymore if there was a crying outfit because the baby's getting more brain development. But just at the first couple of months, and if you wanted to try another thing too, just try to simulate a heartbeat too, because when the baby's inside here, most of the sounds they're hearing is muffled mom and dad's voices, but the one constant thing they're always hearing is a heartbeat. So you can kind of do something like this and just go, just trying to simulate a heartbeat. And that can also be something that might be able to just kind of remind the baby of sort of like the calm, secure environment that they once had, sort of thing. So that's your quick video health tip for struggling moms that might be just pulling their hair out at some point, saying they can't get this kid to stop crying. And obviously, if you have a kid that's crying, make sure you're getting checked by your pediatrician and everything else, but also make sure, for 100% sure, that you're getting that child's spine checked, because very often the stress of vaginal births or cesarean section births, even worse, are going to be causing spinal nerve stress. And babies can't say, man, that doctor just pulled on my head and my neck is killing me. They can't say that. They're just going to start crying all the time. And very often we've worked on kids, just very, very light, simple little adjustments have kind of made dramatic changes in babies who've been crying for days and days and days and weeks and months sometimes. And sometimes just a few entrainments or a few adjustments on the spine can make a dramatic difference, because they were actually just had their neck pulled on during the birth process, and there was actually, quote unquote, a lot of discomfort and a lot of pain that they just couldn't express. The only way they could express it is just by crying. So it's very important, and there's a lot of other ramifications of having a healthy spine and nervous system just for the overall health of the baby, the baby's immune system, and everything else. So make sure you get your child's spine checked as soon as possible, right after they're born, and hopefully the mother would be getting prenatal care during her pregnancy as well. Very important stuff, so please share this video with anybody you think it could be helpful for, and we'll see you next week on Health Tip. Thanks.